Chapter 29, by Krishna and the gopis enjoying intimately together, and they were feeling very happy and proud of being with Krishna. And for his own purposes and reasons, which we'll find out as the Leela unfolds, Krishna suddenly disappeared from all the gopis and went away. And all the gopis thought that he went by himself. So that's what we know so far from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So now the gopis are sitting, they've collapsed on the land of Vrindavana, somewhere near Keshigat and Yamuna Pulin, near Samir, in that area of the Rasa Lila, and where they're wandering in Ban Bihar, wandering through the forest along the Yamuna. And so they have fallen on the ground, they've collapsed, they're dumbfounded, devastated, crushed, and bewildered. Where did he go? Why? What happened? Is this some tantric, some devata kidnapped Krishna? Sudden kidnapping. Because there's no idea they think he's God, not for 1 second. Because if you're holding someone's arm and you're walking through the forest and suddenly they disappear, vanish, it's not a Star Trek movie where someone dematerializes on turns into vapor in 2 seconds. Imagine you have your arm around your lover, okay. It's a little spooky, like, what, they instantly turned into a ghost or what? So you have to kind of go deep into the scene and imagine if you were, just imagine, that's the whole advantage of not being a monkey. The advantage of not being a monkey and trying to enter these leelas is that we're human beings. And it's called Nara Lila, Krishna's human-like Lila. So, did you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? I mean, Indian people will say no. It's a very interesting point for your reference files, my dear sir. I was writing some article about love, and I was researching the famous love stories throughout history. And many, many Muslim love stories and Christians and Romeo and Juliet. And then I asked my Indian friends, is there any love stories from India? And they said, no, not one. Because a love story, what is a love story? A love story means a boy and a girl who are not married having illicit relations, or someone who's married who's having relation with someone else. That's called a love story. Everyone agrees? It doesn't exist in the last 10 million years of Indian history. So that is very, very significant. There's India, culture, and history, and the rest of the world. It's an amazing point. I had a long discussion about this. Anyway, can I, let me... So this, because we were discussing the love stories, that was an amazing thing, Odysseus, or whatever it is, and Penelope, and Romeo and Juliet, and there's long lists from Greece and Italy and England and everywhere, and during the time of the occupation of India, all the various shahs and kings, but from the Hindu history, it's like amazing. I mean, I've 43 years involved with this culture, and somewhat, it was a startling fact, which reinforced the depth of the Dharma, the integrity of Dharma as we define Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, that a woman should be protected by her father and given in marriage to a boy. That whole dynamism of the Sanatana Dharma system. This is another interesting way to prove it, going back the other way around, That was quite amazing. So Krishna disappeared, and then there's some comments they have. Acharyas giving comments. Jiva Goswami has a brief comment. He says, Krishna's inexplicable and sudden disappearance makes the gopis very unhappy. The sadness of the gopis is intense because Krishna is their sole beloved in Braj. And because the gopis depend on Krishna alone, like female elephants depend on their male leader. So if a lion comes and wants to eat up the little baby elephants, the cubs, or whatever they call them, baby cub elephants or whatever, and then, or the females, they're not so aggressive. So the king, oftentimes the classic story is the king elephant, the bull elephant, is fighting with the lion. Many times the elephant wins also. He picks up the lion and throws him against a tree and kills him. And sometimes, most of the time, he loses because he's too slow. Well, this is a classic. So this analogy has many deep meanings which the acharyas bring out from different levels, other than just dependence and protection also. So the Jiva Goswami says this much. Actually, we're reading the English, but he's actually commenting on various words of the verse, like it says that their sorrow, great remorse, because the word in Sanskrit is atapyan, atapyams. Atapyams means sorrow and remorse, but he says it's intense. How intense? It's so intense that it burns your heart, it burns your mind, because the word tap means burning, fire, T-A-P. So when we perform Ekadasi, tapasya, or renunciation, or vows of self-restraint, then our minds may get a little heated, or we may get a little overheated, especially if you do Nirjal Ekadasi. And oftentimes the body can contain the increase in heat during the Ekadasi Brat of Nirjal, no eating or drinking water. But then the next day, on Dwadasi, before the Paran time, before breaking the fast, the body, oftentimes, human body, cannot contain the increase in heat. So the devotee, he breaks out in a cold sweat. His whole body becomes totally wet because the heat is trying to get out somehow. It's very, very purifying. Nirjala Ekadasi. We have many years of understanding this. So this is tapasya, burning. What is burning? Karmani nirahati kintu chabakti bhajan. The karmani, the seeds of desire, the kutam and bijam, they're burning up by the tap. So the gopis are atapyan. Atapyan means they're burning in the austerity of fasting from Krishna, of missing Krishna. The Rasa, without drinking the Rasa of Krishna's association, they're burning.